Good evening, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I'm actually about a minute late. My goodness. How's everybody doing tonight? ASD won't be here tonight. I see he's on his way up north to Massachusetts. Or New Hampshire, actually. Manchester, New Hampshire. And then Boston. So he won't be around, but he did leave us a message. He's on the road. 11 hours to go. Of course, that was a while ago, so 10 and a half hours or so. Hopefully he'll have a good trip. And at the moment, I'm actually kind of doing a couple things at one time. But that's okay. Kind of working on another picture at the same time. Just to see what it looks like. I don't know why my printer doesn't seem to come up for some reason. The way it's supposed to. Huh. Strange. Isn't that strange? Well, that's the way it works. Sometimes that's the way it works. It would be nice if we get some new people in tonight. That would be great. Ken, how you doing? Don't mind me. I'm working on another project at the same time. How you doing tonight? What works? Well, I was just trying to print something, and it wasn't printing the way I wanted it to print. For some unknown reason. But I'll figure it out. Picture I was looking at was kind of a bit blurry, and I was trying to fix it a little bit. Haven't been having a lot of luck at it. But ASD was here earlier, as you can see. He's on his way up. About 11, 10, 9, 10 and a half, 11 hours away from Manchester. So they must be definitely taking their time. Maybe they stopped for the night or got a late start. No coffee tonight. Oh, you were? Or you were sitting here waiting to get on? Yeah, people don't realize it, but even if I'm not live, you can actually type something, leave a message or whatever. Some people do, some people don't. In fact, I've left messages for you guys before telling you if I was going to be a few minutes late or something or whatever. I do like that feature. It is kind of handy to have. I released the Northern Lights video today way earlier today, this morning, I think. Not getting many hits on it, which is surprising because that's actually one of Bob Ross's top 5 paintings. Of course, I did more. I added my own style to it too. It's not all. It wasn't all per his instruction stuff. Similar, but not quite. I think there's only been like a couple people that's looked at it, not for very long. Nobody watched the whole thing yet. I know that. In fact, I actually watched over half of it myself to help add a little time to it. Which reminds me, gotta log my wife in. Whoop, wrong button. See, Friday night, probably we kind of be late tonight too, most likely. It might be just you and I again tonight. I don't know. I had a long night last night. I didn't sleep at all. At all. I got about a 3-hour nap earlier today. That was about it. So I'll probably be yawning all night. And something's not quite right with my icon in here for some reason. I have to figure that out. I just noticed that. One of the icons, anyway. I'm not sure what the problem is with it. I uploaded a new one and I guess it didn't like it. Or something. I don't know. It seems to look okay everywhere else. Just not there. Odd. Maybe it needs to be changed. I don't know. Something don't seem to work right. I'll look at it later, I guess. I'll figure it out. Little icon down at the bottom here where you type. The icon right there doesn't show up right. Not sure why, but it don't. I'll have to fix it, I guess. Whoop, guess it'll help if I, yeah, I'm okay. I was just shaking up this Hawaiian punch my wife made. It's instant stuff. It had been sitting for a couple of days, so it was kind of crystallizing at the bottom of the bottle here. No, I'm going nuts. I'm going crazy. Yeah, I was going to do some painting earlier today, but I was staying up all night pretty much killed that. My eyes were so blurry, I couldn't see well enough to paint. Clearly enough, anyway. I was too tired, and eyes were all red and everything from being awake all night. That new medication, they doubled my medication. It seems to be keeping me awake. I don't know why, but it must be a side effect of it. But it seems to, they say it's actually supposed to make you, one of the side effects was making you sleepy, dizzy, even nauseous, whatever. But it didn't say anything about keeping you awake all night. About 56 minutes, I think. I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, when I did the editing, I probably could have made it a little bit shorter, but I hate people seeing exactly what I'm doing on the painting. So I hate to take chunks of it out. I see a lot of artists that do that, and I see the people yelling, going, why don't you let us see the whole thing? You know, like they'll paint one tree, and the next thing you know, the painting comes back up and there's 15 trees, and people have no idea when, and where to put them, and in what order to put them in. And I don't think that's right. I think people have a right to look at the full tutorial, not just little pieces of it. They can't learn anything if they don't watch the whole thing. I never did get anything back from Brad. I checked my phone last night and this morning. I mean, it's been quite a while since I last chatted with him, and um, not that long, but I invited him to come on like a week ago. He didn't even reply. So I don't know what he's up to. No, I can't paint anything. No, that's just not true. I have trouble painting lots of stuff. Certain animals I wouldn't even try to paint. I've painted some animals, but not many. Let's see, I painted a horse, a couple of kittens, a pelican, and a raccoon. Actually, I painted a couple of dogs, but that's about it. And they weren't all that great either. I think I painted a chicken in some painting, an old farm picture I did. Dolphins. Excuse me. Artists are a lot of artists. A lot of artists are limited. They just if you don't paint stuff, certain things a lot, you're not that good at painting them when you don't normally do them. Of course, with animals, it helps to know the anatomy. Just like with people, you need to know the anatomy. What's up, Recon? You're late, you bum. You at Taco Bell tonight? As you can read up there, ASD won't be here. He actually did text from on the road. He's got like 11 more hours to go, he said, or 10 and a half more hours to go, or whatever. So they must be a late start, or they stopped and slept somewhere. Well, I don't know where he is exactly, but they left last night, so they should have been quite a bit further along, I would think. You were there before Ken. I didn't see any numbers up there that would have showed that you were here. You lie. You're a bum. You lie. Get your work for food sign out. Excuse me. Actually, I'm kind of been getting discouraged about painting. Not that I don't want to paint, I'm just discouraged about doing the tutorials because nobody's watching them. I've been looking at all of the ones I've uploaded, and rarely did anybody watch the whole thing. Rarely. The numbers is like super low. If people watched all my paintings, the whole thing, all the way through, with the amount of people that have viewed them, I'd have all my view hours and then some all the time. But I'm not getting the view hours I need, so it's probably gonna hurt me pretty soon, probably. Have to rally up the grandchildren, I guess, and tell them to put a tutorial on and let it play. I'll do a playlist and let it play. Yep. I don't know. It seems to me a lot of us complained about our father's driving from when we were kids. My father was a freaking crazy driver, too. He had a lead foot. Luckily for me, when I was a kid, even older, when I got into a car in the back seat, I'd just fall asleep. I had no problem falling asleep in a car. So I'd wake up when we got home and not get terrorized so much. Once in a while, I'd hear my mother yell at my father to slow down or slap him or something and tell him to slow down, knock it off, or whatever. My father definitely tended to drive fast. And on top of that, he tended to be looking around too much, the scenery, not paying attention to where he was going sometimes. I remember a number of times I thought we were going to be going to heaven early. Crap. I remember he told us kids once he was driving along up in New Hampshire. They got them winding roads and the mountains up there, and he was driving along the road to the farm, which his parents had a farm, my grandparents, and he was just a teenager. And he borrowed his father's car without permission. Probably a girl was involved. Who knows? Driving down, and it's winter time, and in New Hampshire, they got big rivers, big rivers and brooks and whatever. This is a big river with lots of rocks. And then you're driving along and you look down, there's embankments. Usually they're almost straight down, just a slight angle to them. And he showed me where he went over the banking once because he wasn't paying attention. He hit some ice and snow and right over the embankment with his father's car. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall when he had to tell his father that he drove his car over the embankment and wrecked it. I usually sit on the end on the window by a window. I just put my head up against the window, and in no time at all, I'd be out. Dang near instantly. And be like that. You're home. I mean, you could be 30 miles from home and you go to sleep, and next thing you know, my mother's going, all right, wake up. We're home. I'm like, I just went to sleep. Shit. Ohio River. The river that he crashed his car was actually by the Ashwillet River. Which I believe ran most of the whole state of New Hampshire. I've been to Richmond. I've been through it, but I don't remember stopping. But I've been through Richmond. Yeah, man. My father had loud cars, exhaust leaks, jimmied up exhaust. You could smell the exhaust. How we all survived is beyond me. I mean, on top of that, my father back then was a chain smoker. I remember telling you guys he smoked like 4 packs a day at least. He'd be chain smoking in the car with the freaking window up in the wintertime. And we're all in the back going, choking to death. Crack the window, and then we get yelled at for that. Roll that window up. It's blowing smoking back in my face. And I'm like, how do you like it? Of course, then we get our heads knocked off. My stepfather was a Frenchman. He had an awful temper. Awful. He didn't believe in sparing the rod, the fist, the foot, the boot, or anything else, or anything he could pick up. You were liable to be wearing it. Nowadays, he'd be in jail for a long time. Back then, it was a civil matter. That's what they always said. I got scars to prove it. And he definitely drew a lot of blood. And he had no problem with 5 knuckles. That's just the way he was. When I got older, he couldn't do that. I never hit him back, though. I was damn tempted when I got older. If it wasn't for my wife screaming at me, there was a couple times he would have got hit. But he ended up on his ass anyway. I just push him and down he'd go. Then he'd be screaming at me to help him up. I just say, no. You got your ass in that position, get your ass up. And I just walk off. Then he'd go home and lie to my mother and tell her that I beat him up. And then she'd call me. I can't believe you beat your father up. I didn't beat him up. I pushed him away from me because he kept trying to punch me. Yeah, Virginia's definitely nice. Although I gotta tell you, I'm pretty partial to North Carolina. I stayed in North Carolina for a week once. And it's nice in North Carolina. And I went there in the wintertime. They had snow, but not like New Hampshire. But you had the 4 seasons and you had the mountains and, you still had, some snow, but it wasn't a drastic amount like in New Hampshire. And I even tried to talk my wife into moving to North Carolina once. Wouldn't do it. The kids were growing up. They moved out. And I'm like, let's move to North Carolina. I love it up there. It's beautiful. Oh, no. You ain't getting me away from our kids and our grandchildren. A couple of our kids moved away to other states for a number of years. They all came back, but, a couple of them moved to Indiana. I think Jennifer went to Ohio or something once for a short time. Partly your land now. It sounds real beautiful. Put a well in a septic tank there and give me the address, and I'll move my 5th-wheeler up there and park it. Don't forget the power pole. I don't think we're going to get anybody tonight except us 3. I doubt even Velvet will be here tonight. She's been having trouble with her internet. Nancy's gone to her daughter's house, so she won't be here probably. I think they actually went to a movie somewhere. And Jennifer's trying to get the baby to sleep, so I doubt she'll be on. And Minnie, you never know. She could be anywhere. Are you renting the trailer out or the houses? Are those yours too? You said you wanted a house. Go stay in one of the houses if you own it. Or is it too far from work? Oh, excuse me. Unfortunately, my son Chris, who passed away, him and his fiance they were getting ready to buy the house that burned down. It burned down. I think it was the hot water heater or something, electrical fire in the middle of the night. But they were on 5 acres with a big barn and everything, and they actually had 5 acres on the other far end away from them. There was actually a setup for a trailer. They were actually going to let us put a camper there eventually, and but we never got to that point because the house burned down and they ended up having to move. So they didn't buy the place. It was actually a double wide mobile home with a big porch built onto it. It looked like a house though. It was all skirted in and had vinyl siding and made it look like a house. But I knew that I thought there was some sort of electrical problem because we were actually working on my other RV when it was too small for us. We were working on it up there. We got it plugged into a receptacle one day and it was just sparking and get hot. And I think somebody overloaded the circuits big time and the breakers were too big. And I think that's probably where the problem came from. But they lost everything. They hadn't been there very long. They didn't even get a chance to get any renter's insurance, so they lost everything, his bike, everything. That was a sad day. Are you off on weekends, Recon, or during the week? Wow. Huh. Hey, Doc, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. Well, it ain't been too long, but how you doing? Huh. Hospital an hour away. That's a long drive to the hospital. If you're having a heart attack, you ain't gonna make it. Oh, okay. I'm a bit tired. I was up all dang night last night. Couldn't sleep. Doctor changed my medicine, and I think the medicine must have a side effect of keeping you awake because I couldn't sleep at all. I got a 3 hour nap this afternoon, but that wasn't enough. You get the weekends off now? Well, that's good. I really got jobs, not very often, that I got the weekends off. I was kind of always suckered into getting the middle of the week off. A building supply company I worked for years. I think I got Sunday and Monday off, or Sunday and Tuesday, or something like that. I don't remember. But they were closed Sunday anyway, so. But although Saturday, I think we only worked, we closed early. I think we closed at like 3 o'clock. But still, most of the day's kind of shot by then. It was actually pretty warm here in Florida today. It wasn't real hot, but it was pretty warm. Well, that surprises me. Velvet showed up. I can't believe it. How you doing, Velvet? Got your internet to work tonight, huh? Timmy must be off the internet tonight. Or you kicked him off it. Did you check out that Northern Lights painting I just did? I just uploaded a couple days ago. Watch the whole thing. I need the time. Oh, he went to sleep. Lucky for you. That's how you got the internet. You put him to sleep. That's pretty tricky. Well, we're back to normal on the internet anyways. Well, downloads 2.11, upload 0.49. About normal for us. We were getting some pretty good numbers there for a little while. I don't think it really made a lot of difference, but although Ken did say he saw me crystal clear the other night, so I guess that was an improvement. He went to sleep on his own. Well, he must have put in one of them 12 or 13-hour days or more. What lights? The painting's up now. You can see it. It's out for the public now. The members had their chance. They didn't watch it. You failed, Velvet. You failed. I was actually going to do a different painting. My wife wanted me to do something different, but I got looking through some of the paintings, and I was kind of looking at some of Bob Ross's stuff, his most popular. That was one of his most popular paintings, top 5. It was like over 1 million views on that one. So I figured, hey, if it's good for him, I'll paint one something like it. But my own technique basically is wet on wet still, but I use instead of using liquid clear, I use walnut oil. And I changed a few things on it. I don't like to do them exactly the same. Of course, you ain't gonna get it exactly the same anyway. I don't know any artist that can do an exact duplicate of any painting. May look like it, may resemble it, may be close, but they'll never be the exact same because the brushstrokes will always be different. Every artist paints with different brushstrokes. So you can always tell by the brushstrokes. That's how these guys that validate a lot of these old paintings, that's what they look at, the brushstrokes. They all had their own technique, like Rembrandt and Da Vinci and Michelangelo. The brushstrokes are totally different. I just told you I don't paint animals usually. Wolf, that amounts to a dog. Actually, I want to paint something I've never painted before, a cityscape. And that's actually what I was printing earlier. I was looking at some pictures of the Boston skyline. A certain sneaky person wanted me to paint it a long time ago. You ain't gonna paint no wolf using finger paint, I'll tell you that right now. That would be disastrous. I've done very little finger painting. I did one when I was in an art show when I was 13, when I stayed up there with that priest that I was telling you guys about for that certain amount of time with the Catholic Church there. They had a youth organization and they had an art class or festival or whatever, and they had a contest. But whatever was done had to be finger painting. I actually won. I won the contest because I did a huge red piece of burlap. I had it for years. My mother had it for a while too, and whatever. But I did people. Believe it or not, finger painted people. I did the nativity scene with Joseph and Mary and I think a donkey or something, and the baby Jesus in the manger in a barn. I did it with finger paints, and it came out pretty good. It came out good enough that the priests that were in that parish, they took it after I won. Well, so they asked my permission, and they hung it on the altar in the church. And then another priest would see it, he'd want it, and he'd kidnap it and bring it to his church. It went from one church to another for a couple of months. And finally, I had to go to the priest that had us up there and tell him I want my painting back. And it still took him a couple more weeks to get it back. Yeah, painting's like a fingerprint. Yep, that's exactly right. You could take, like, if I did a Bob Ross painting, which I have done some of them, and you took his and mine, put them side by side, they may look alike. And probably some of them pretty dang close. And you would swear they were just almost carbon copies from a distance. But when you get closer and closer, And then you examine the brush strokes. Total different story. I'd love to see some of the old timers' real art. I've seen some, a few. I think I actually did see the Mona Lisa once. I think it was at the Boston Gallery or New York Gallery when I was in school, like grade school or something, and I got to see it. And right here locally in Gainesville is a museum called the Harn Museum, and they actually have a Monet. I'm talking about Claude Monet. I mean, this thing is, gosh, that thing must be, it's huge, 60 inches wide at least. And I'll be honest with you, I look at that painting, and I mean, it's okay, but I really wasn't that impressed with it. It was mostly all, sky and grass, like a farm. And it just didn't look to be that big of a deal. But Claude Monet, so it's worth a ton of money. In fact, that Bob Ross special I did, you know, I did watch some interviews and stuff from Ann Kowalski, and supposedly she's one of the only people that they get to authenticate a Bob Ross painting because she swears that she knows him so well. Well, I'm sure she does, but I'm not too sure. With the tension that was going on with them toward the end, I'm not too sure that I would trust that. Wow, Nancy's here. I can't believe it. Hi, Nancy. I didn't expect that you'd be here. I thought you was at the movies or something, or some celebration or something. Doc, are you still here or did you leave, buddy? I think Nancy and Velvet are the only members I have left. ASD's ran out. Maybe one of Nancy's ran out too, I'm not sure. Tracy, maybe. Maybe Tracy's ran out. Or you just got out of the movies? You went to see Venom, didn't you? Was it Kayla? Well, Doc was here too, but I guess he must have left. And Velvet's here. Yeah, Doc was here. I don't know if I think he's gone already. I think he said hello to you. But you didn't answer him because you fell asleep at your phone again. Didn't you, Ken? All of the few members I have, none of them watched the Northern Lights I put up, and I put it up just for them for a couple of days. But now y'all can view it. Hello, sweetie. I've missed having coffee with you in the mornings. I really have. I truly have. I kind of was getting to where I was looking forward to having coffee with you in the morning. And you deserted me. I know you was over last night, but I missed you. You just left when I walked in from last night. Ken and Recon kept me on late last night, like a half an hour over. I'm blaming Recon because he's a prick. I'm just messing with you, Recon. I'm sure you know that. Okay, well, that's good. I was up all night last night too. I'm surprised. I actually went out to see if you were up last night, but you might have went out the front door and smoked or whatever. But I actually checked a few times to see if you were up because we had coffee already made, and your mother and I were up. I was up all night. All night. Your mother was up till like 4 o'clock. And when this live is done, I'm going in and make a pot. Because I really haven't had much coffee today at all. But I'm going in and make some. You were sound asleep, huh? Well, I saw the outside light on out there most of the morning. You was wait till 5? Or see, I was up. I was up all. I tried to lay down at 2 and go to sleep. Watch TV, couldn't go to sleep. I finally get up at 6:30 or 7 and stayed up. No, less than that, 5 o'clock. Maybe it was 5 or 6. But I got up, warmed up some coffee, come out to the studio. Okay, well, by the time you get home, we'll be done with the live and the coffee will be done if you decide you want to come in and have some. Yeah, the live will be over here shortly. Oh, you're just getting some water, Ken? Well, that's a good way to put falling asleep. Okay, no problem. No problem. Before you get here, I'm sure I'll be able to get in here and make a pot. Unless your mother did, which I doubt, but I will. Wake up, Recon. Stop falling asleep. I'm having some coffee tonight, Ken. That's final. Yup is right. That's final. I might have got Recon mad at me when I called him a jerk. He hasn't said nothing. He's probably over there steaming. I guess you didn't hear me then, huh, Recon? Probably good. I was telling Nancy that you were a jerk for keeping me up late last night. A half an hour late on the live. I thought you might have got mad at me. I'm like, because you wasn't saying nothing. I was testing you. After Minnie was saying how it didn't bother her that we cussed or whatever because we're adults and stuff. I figured, what the heck? Let's try it out. Oh, you're playing with the baby? Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. I'll just talk to Ken then. If you don't fall asleep at the phone. And Nancy. I don't know if Velvet's still here or not. She might have lost connection again already. Velvet, wake up. Well, enjoy it, Ken. I can tell you right now that my statement would have been, I will make coffee in the morning. There's no might to it. The might word doesn't come around. Yeah, I called you a jerk. That's what I did. I called you a jerk, Recon. I blamed you and called you a jerk because we were half an hour over last night on the live stream. I was messing with you, but you didn't respond, Recon. So I figured, well, maybe I caught him in the wrong mood. Remember, Minnie said she laughs at me when I slip and I cuss online because she knows I try not to. Evidently, I'm lagging bad, so evidently you guys don't get my messages for 2 or 3 minutes. Does it? I never noticed. Always tasted okay when I made it. You guys need to buy some of these paintings of mine. I've tried to sell them to you guys cheap, but none of you are buying them. Recon, you said you wanted 2 paintings. Buy 2 of them. Yeah. Coffee tastes good to me no matter what time it is. Day or night, all tastes good to me. Now, if you don't wash the pot out and the strainers and stuff every now and then, it does start tasting a bit nasty. And we went out of coffee filters, so that makes it harder to make coffee. We've been out for a while, but I haven't been able to go get any yet. That's okay, Recon. It went zoom right over your head anyway. Like a jet. All I can say to that is the normal reply I have for you. I'd rather die than use them brown ones. That's Recon's. Splat. I got some new ones too. I got one to wake Ken up finally too. I got Ken's favorite here. This one scares the crap out of him. He thought his neighbor was getting attacked or something. Does that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, Ken? It sounds like some of my granddaughters. uh, here's the one that Recon likes the most. They're coming for you, Recon. They're coming for you too, Ken. Load it good, Recon. Load it good. Yeah, we know your memory's failing, Recon. You know, that is a sign of old age. That's right. You're getting old. You're getting old. Hell, Recon, you tell me which one of the paints you want. I'd send the dang things to you. You can send me a check for all I care. You ain't got to worry about loading PayPal. I don't care. I trust you. Did them the sound effects get you wide awake, huh, Ken? Okay. That's good. I'm glad they're working well. I'll turn the volume down now. All right, guys, it's been an hour. Been a little over an hour again, which is fine. I'm going to shut it down because I'm going to go in and make some coffee because Nancy's on her way here. So I'll make sure that coffee is done when she gets here. Let her mother know she's coming. So you guys stay healthy, stay safe, and don't work too hard. And of course, you got the weekend off, Recon, so you can play with the baby all weekend. And get your undivided attention. Take the baby for a hike. Get one of them baby backpacks or whatever or something, and take the baby for a hike. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat place, same bat channel, all that good stuff. Good night, guys. Nancy, good night. I'll see you when you get here. Bye-bye.